Who knew preseason football could bring so much drama? Everybody, welcome back to another edition of Inside the Vikings here on Inside the Zone with Mateo. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video, and as always, I hope you're entertained. For those who may not know, my name is Mateo, and I host all the podcasts here on the channel where we don't just talk about Minnesota sports, but we also talk about all things sports related. And for those who may not know, Inside the Vikings is indeed our NFL podcast. And we don't just talk about Vikings football during the NFL season, because this podcast will be your home for NFL talk, all NFL talk from preseason all the way to the Super Bowl every single Tuesday here on the channel. So that's what we do today. Every single week, we just talk about the latest storylines around the NFL. And we're going to break down some games once we hit the regular season. We'll give you some assessments, some predictions, etc., etc. But for today, we have three things that we're going to talk about. Just so I can give you guys those ahead of time, here's what the three things we are going to be talking about. We will be, of course, talking about something related to the Vikings, and that's, of course, going to be J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz. And then, of course, we will get to the Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders battle, which ended up, as you know, Deshaun Watson being named the number one starter or the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns yesterday. And then, of course, today, on Tuesday, August 25th, when I'm recording this and when it's going to be published, the NFL Rivalry Jerseys, including for the Minnesota Vikings, were released today. So we got the AFC South and the NFC North. We'll take a look at those, maybe rank them, just give you some overall thoughts on them as we close out the show today. But that's what's on deck. That's what's coming up here on Inside the Vikings, here on Inside the Zone with Mateo. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And let's just start talking about the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, they are my team. I cover Minnesota sports. I'm here in Minnesota, based in Minnesota, and I do apologize. The stupid Minnesota allergies are messing around with my sinuses, so I apologize. But moving on, let's just start. Let's just answer the question, because after the Minnesota Vikings' second preseason game of the season, it's left us asking more questions. J.J. McCarthy or Carson Wentz, who should be the backup quarterback? We had part two of the so-called battle for the second quarterback position against the Ravens, I believe, on Saturday from US Bank Stadium. J.J. McCarthy got the start. He played the entire first quarter. Carson Wentz played the second quarter. And then Max Brosmer got the almost entire second half, I believe. Here are the stats, as you can see on your screen. But if you're listening on Spotify, I appreciate you. You can't see it. You just want to hear the audio. J.J. McCarthy, 5 of 10. 81 yards, a 77.5 QBR. Carson Wentz in that second quarter, 9 of 11. Much better, 92 yards, 101.5 QBR. And then Max Brosmer, 11 of 17, 98 yards, 55.5 QBR rating, just because he did have that interception as well. Now, props to Max Brosmer. He looks pretty decent. We're not going to talk about Max Brosmer here, but I do just want to say, as we start this here, we're not going to focus on him. Props to him. He's been playing pretty dang good over the last couple preseason games. He looked really comfortable. Besides that interception, which I do think was a little bit of a rushed throw towards the end of the game, where they could have tried to come back to win that game. Obviously, the Vikings did end up losing to the Ravens on Saturday. But I thought Max Brosmer looked pretty good. But besides the point, I just wanted to get that out. We're talking about J.J. McCarthy. We're talking about Carson Wentz, because golly, J.J. McCarthy coming into the game today, coming into the game on Saturday, had a lot riding on him. After a very mediocre performance, maybe some may say awful performance against the Giants in the first preseason game of the season, people were already asking. I was already asking the question. We talked about last week for the first really NFL episode of the season. We were already asking, should Carson Wentz be the backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings this season? Because J.J. McCarthy just looked like the same kind of quarterback, and this was in a preseason setting with not all the starters and against the Giants, who, credit to the Giants, but they're not the best football team in the world. They have major flaws. First year coach of John Harbaugh. Obviously, he's been doing this for 20 years, but he's trying to figure out the system over there and, creating his new system over there with the Giants. Jackson Dart, and, they're still young. That defense, not a lot of starters were playing on that defense, and J.J. McCarthy struggled against the Giants. So he came, and meanwhile, Carson Wentz looked great. And now, coming in to this preseason week 2, the second preseason game, there was a lot riding on J.J. McCarthy. Everyone knew it. Everyone knew it. He knew it. Kevin O'Connell knew it. Carson Wentz maybe knew it. And when you come out and play like that, when you play as bad as J.J. McCarthy played, that doesn't help you. You take away the 50-yard, 50-50 ball to Ty Felton that some way, somehow he caught that. You take away that, J.J. McCarthy would have ended the day 4 of 9, 31 yards. QBR probably would have been way lower. In my opinion, that 50-yard dot, I wouldn't even call it a dot. It was a 50-50 ball. Pete Bursich, Paul Allen were on the broadcast saying, as the Viking radio network, as they were covering the Vikings, they're Viking fans, they were even saying it was a 50-50 ball. You take away that, and his stats get a whole lot worse. I do think I should show you guys these stats. We're going to look at every J.J. McCarthy drop back from preseason game 2 against the Ravens. Just to show you. So it's not just me saying something. It's so that you guys can actually, look at it for your own. Tell me what you think. I don't think there's going to be any audio. It's just going to be the visuals. So we're just going to look at the first quarter, at his 10 dropbacks, and just try to evaluate. And I'm just trying to show you what I mean by J.J. McCarthy just doesn't look comfortable, and his throws, man, were awful. And again, you take away that 50-yard completion to Ty Felton, which was, as you're going to see, a 50-50 ball. It could have been 4 of 9, 31 yards. That would not have been good. In my opinion, that 50-yard completion, that saved him big time. Big time. So here's the first pass of the day for J.J. McCarthy. He's going to drop back, as you can see. He chucks it over the middle of the field, and it's a nice throw. It's a nice throw. It probably, the receiver just couldn't pull it down, unfortunately. I actually want to I paused it too soon. It was incomplete. He had a little bit of time throwing under pressure. The receiver was wide open. I'm going to say that may be the receiver's fault. There's a nice little check down pass. I believe that is to Ty Felton. But now here, 3rd and 7. This is where you have to complete. So you don't go 3 and out. And hey, nice little check down. Nice little check down. And he did catch it. But now here, 3rd and 13. You need to do this. And then, that play call was just kind of very mediocre. I do think, it wasn't Kevin O'Connell. It wasn't Kevin O'Connell calling the plays, but still. On a 3rd and 13, do not call that. But maybe J.J. McCarthy's just not ready for the big calls yet. I don't know. 2nd and 7. J.J. McCarthy. Okay, under pressure, but now he escapes. He's wide open. And look at that. 50-50 ball, but Ty Felton. Come on. Does that. But here's the thing. You do that. You march down the field. I'm going to admit it. I'm not going to be stupid. It's a nice little drive. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. J.J. McCarthy takes the snap, wants to throw, fakes it, just chucks it to the side, and okay, they get some yards. And they're now from the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. He's going to pass again. Looking, takes too much time, throws it, And that is way too high and complete. Look at it here. You can see now as they slow it down, just too high of a pass. I mean, he had time, and it's just these are the things. And now here we go, 4th and goal. You had 3 chances from the 2-yard line. Now you're at the 1-yard line. This was definitely the play. This was the play that got a lot of people talking about it. You have a chance to go up 7-0. You had multiple chances after that beautiful 50-yard pass, whatever. I don't care. It was a completion, so you still have a chance. You're going to get some of those here and there. And here we go. Steps back, wide open, and completely overthrows the receiver. One more time. Just look at it one more time. Takes the snap, tons of time, wide open, and just overthrows it. And all of a sudden, it's a turnover on downs. Okay, now you have to say, okay, we're going to ignore that. Second drive, we're going to throw in, and then he gets sacked. Okay, well, now we ignore it. 3rd and 14. You got to make a pass. You got to complete a pass. He throws right to the middle of the field, and hey, it's a nice catch. So now here we go. 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. You got to make a pass. You got to complete a pass. What does he do? Just completely throws a bullet. Now 3rd and 13. End of the first quarter. Last play. Chucks it over the middle of the field into triple coverage. And that's how J.J. McCarthy's day ends. So if you could see by those minute and 45 of highlights, a lot of them are lowlights. And these are the things, these are the instances where you're like, what the heck are we doing? What are we doing, JJ? I believe I have maybe I didn't bookmark it, but I thought there was from the stadium. There's one here from the wide open pass from the stadium, from US Bank. Somebody was there, of course, 4th and goal. That's when you get your phone out. Just to show you how unfortunate this was. I don't want this out. Thank you. Look, wide open. Dude, literally wide open. There is nobody around him. All you have to do is throw. There's nobody really in his face. JJ has time and just completely overthrows it. Completely overthrows it. Miles Price was the receiver. And as you can see, he literally just says, I couldn't reach it. About that 4th and goal here. I'm going to play the audio. I will turn the sound on for this one.
Frustration from him? Like, do you sense that he's...
Not at all. I mean, things happen. It's football, you know? Ain't nobody perfect.
Miles, what did happen on that play, if anything?
Just think I couldn't reach it.
I couldn't reach it. I couldn't reach it, and just laughs. Because that's the truth. A simple, wide open. He was wide open. And he couldn't receive it. He couldn't reach it. You're not expecting that you're going to have to lunge for that when you're that wide open. It should just go right to your chest, or maybe right above, maybe right at your helmet, and you have to like move your arms a little bit. But these are the things that everyone keeps talking about. This is the thing I keep talking about. I just don't think J.J. McCarthy is going to succeed here in Minnesota. He might go, and it's going to be a typical Minnesota story, if anything. He leaves and then becomes a winning sensation somewhere else. Cool. Good for him. But it's just not working out here in Minnesota for him. And it's unfortunate. And it's unfortunate when you have a guy, a veteran, like Carson Wentz, when he absolutely dominates you. And for me personally, I spoke on this about a couple days ago on a short. It got a lot of pushback, but I was like, you need a guy like Carson Wentz on a winning football for your backup, on a winning football team for your backup quarterback. you don't need a guy with not a lot of experience that could be good but could be bad. You need stability. And Carson Wentz will bring you stability under Kyler Murray. Somebody in my comments said, no, forget about Kyler Murray. Carson Wentz should be the starter. And to be honest, that's where you have to look at it. If Kyler Murray, I think this is obviously Kyler Murray's football team now. But if he were to get injured, if he were to play so terribly that he would have to be benched, do you want J.J. McCarthy or Carson Wentz to be next in line? And I think you could win more games with Carson Wentz as your starter than with J.J. McCarthy. And that's where all of this has to come into play. It's where it has to come into play. It's where you have to bring this up. It's where you have to think about it. And I want J.J. McCarthy to succeed. But I also want the Minnesota Vikings to succeed. And at the end of the day, from what we've seen last year, what we saw last year, what we've seen in training camp, and what we've seen in preseason, J.J. McCarthy, in my opinion, has just lost the job of quarterback 2. He's obviously lost quarterback 1, but I think he's lost quarterback 2 just because I don't think you can trust him. Does this mean he gets traded? Does this mean he gets waived? I don't know. But all I do know, or all I think I know, obviously I don't know everything. I'm not in the organization. But it would make sense to me if Carson Wentz is the backup quarterback come week 1. But let me know what you guys think there in the comments down below for this first little section here. Because, quarterback drama has been insane. That's why I listed it as here, the title of the thumbnail or whatever. Because it's insane, bro. We've got this madness in Minnesota. We had the Fernando Mendoza stories. We had some other quarterback stories in preseason. But maybe none other than the biggest one was what happened in Cleveland just yesterday. Because if you guys don't know, Deshaun Watson's been named the starter for Cleveland. And if you remember me last week, when we were talking about the Cleveland Browns, and we were talking about who I thought should be the week 1 starter, I said Shedeur Sanders. So you probably know where I'm going here. Deshaun Watson had a good start to his career. There's a reason why he has that big, massive contract. 5 years ago, he's in the final year of his 5-year deal. 5 years ago, he had earned that money. Maybe it was a little bit of an overpay, but he still earned that type of money. Maybe a little lower would have been fine, but in theory, he was proving to be that guy. But then the last 3 years have been a complete mess. A complete mess for Deshaun Watson. He hasn't started in a regular season NFL game since I believe the early part of the 2024 season, possibly the 2023 season. He hasn't played an NFL game, a regular season NFL game, by the way, the point is basically in 2 years. He's not been good off the field. And he's had a messed up life since, 5 years ago. What a difference. Look at what a difference 5 years can make. And now, can people change 100%? Do I think he's changed a little bit since, the last couple years? Yeah. Do I think he should be starting on the Cleveland Browns in 2026? No. And here's the reason. I'm just going to get straight to the point. Here. The Cleveland Browns are not in a winning moment. they have a lot of solid potential. Quinton Junkins, Casey Concepcion, Harold Fannin, Jared Verse, etc., etc., etc. They traded the best defensive player in the league because they knew they would not be winning in the next couple of seasons. That they said, okay, we're going to just get younger, and we're going to maybe get the next best defensive player in Jared Verse, but we're going to give up on Myles Garrett. In my opinion, Deshaun Watson belongs on a team that is competing. He should be the starting quarterback on a team that is going to have a potential playoff run. Or if anything, be a backup to one of those teams to have a chance to be on a winning team. Deshaun Watson is not going to do much for Cleveland. And it's not maybe his fault, it's just where they're at. And when you have the opportunity to develop a guy in Shedeur Sanders, who y'all know I've been super high on since he was in college. A lot of people have been super high on him since he's been in college. Sure, did he have the best year in his rookie season? No. But now, you turn over this offense into a new, young offense with Junkins, with Concepcion, with Fannin. You're starting a new culture in Cleveland. And a new culture should start with a young quarterback. Whether that's Shedeur Sanders, whether that's Dylan Gabriel, or whether that's a new quarterback in the 2027 draft. I don't care. I don't think a veteran quarterback should be starting for this team because you want to just try to get these young guys to get developed to see where they can be in the next couple of seasons. And Deshaun Watson, I think, is going to do a lot of hurting, a lot of messing up, if you will, for this team. Not just the team's success, because I do think you could win more games with Shedeur Sanders, but I think you're going to mess up a lot of development. You know, I think you take a poll of players of would they rather lose with a rookie quarterback or a younger quarterback or a veteran quarterback. And I think it's more understanding and you're more okay with it. You still want to win, but it's like at least more understandable with a younger quarterback. Deshaun Watson's getting paid, and he's also a veteran. So now, there are some expectations. Sure, it's Cleveland, and you're not expecting them to win the Super Bowl, but with Deshaun Watson, you're expected to win. But again, that's not the case, because Deshaun Watson is not going to win. So do you see where we're going here? It's all contradicting itself. You want to win, right? Every football team wants to win. So you bring the veteran in, okay? But the veteran's been bad and hasn't played a game for 2 years. But then you say, well, we want to be able to develop players. Okay. What about your quarterbacks? What about your quarterbacks? You drafted 2 quarterbacks last year, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. What about them? Just where this Browns team is at, I would heavily just say, go develop all your players. Because then at least, even if you're not winning, you're giving them experience. And the best players learn from the hardest scenarios. And the hardest scenario in sports is losing. But it's the best teaching moment. That's why I said losing the Super Bowl for Drake May is going to be more beneficial for his career than if he would have won it. Because now he knows what it's like to lose, and now he wants to win even more. Deshaun Watson's already gotten paid. He could be a backup and still get paid. His career, I don't like to do this with players, but his career is basically over. He's on the Geno Smith path right now. And there's just going to be guys like that, and sometimes you just have to accept it. So whether or not you agree with me, I don't care. I appreciate you guys for watching, but I just have a lot of mixed feelings about this. Deshaun Watson, though, has been named the Week 1 starting quarterback versus Jacksonville. It's interesting. I mean, you look at this projected offense, it just makes more sense to have Shedeur Sanders be the quarterback with this young offense. I forgot Denzel, Boston, Jerry Jeudy. It's a young offense. Include that young quarterback, and everyone's developing. Skip Bayless says, I unfortunately called this from the start. Deshaun will start, even though Shedeur outplayed him in preseason, and even though Deshaun has played only 19 games in the last 5 years. Munkin is reaching back for Houston Deshaun, thing of the past, and Haslam wants to justify $46 million. So wrong. And I agree with that. There could be some of that included. They're just trying to prove. That's why we paid you $46 million a year. And me personally, I do think Shedeur has outplayed Deshaun. Opening drive in his first preseason start, he was 4 of 4, 43 yards, led a touchdown. Scored a touchdown, threw a touchdown. Deshaun Watson was fumbling the ball. So it just doesn't make sense. But at the same time, you can just say it's the Cleveland Browns, and then of course it makes sense. One more topic for today's edition of Inside the Vikings. And it's not really a very strong opinionated topic or anything. It's a fun one because, of course, the NFL rivalry jerseys are officially here, and I'm excited for it. And we're going to just kind of break down the 8 rivalry jerseys as we close out today's episode. So it's going to be a little fun. It's going to be fun today. Fun last segment. As you can see here, some of them, they're all there, but you can't see them all. We have the AFC South and then, of course, the NFC North. We're going to close out with the Vikings just because I feel like that feels right. We're going to start with the AFC South. What we're going to do here is we are going to we're going to kind of grade them, but I'm just going to kind of give you some thoughts on each of the jerseys. We're going to go through some of their breakdowns that the teams posted here on social media. So starting off with the Houston Texans, which I actually really like this one, by the way. It's nice. It's definitely nice. You get the all white. You get the blue number, which I like. I love the helmet. Okay, to be honest, I like the helmets way more than I like the jerseys this year. This actually brings back some of the Buffalo Bills type of jersey. They kind of look like this one from last year when they had their rivalry jerseys. Pretty solid. Here's the breakdown though, because I love these breakdowns. You have the white helmet, of course. I don't know what the Be Someone jersey numbers mean, but it's just inner collar Houston logo is in there. Front jersey bullhead. You have the tilt stripe as well. I like the stripe. But yeah, it's chrome and candy paint finishing. I don't know what that necessarily means, but I maybe it's just a color. I like it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks flashy. I don't think, me personally, I would love this one as my primary jersey because I do think there are some that you could make a case ooh, yeah, those could be our primary jerseys. But these are okay. You know, they give me kind of Christmassy Christmassy vibes. They were like, the blue was, I mean, no, it is really Christmassy. I feel like this could be like a very candy cane type of one. It's just not the best for me personally. But, you know, it's still solid. I like the white. I like the white and blue. The red's doing it a little bit of juiciness. I like it. You know, it's chill. Definitely not my favorite one. But, of course, let me know what you guys think. What's your ranking 1 through 8? This is definitely towards the bottom. For the Tennessee Titans, it's a very Music City type of, you know, theme going on here. I love the helmet. I mean, I was talking about the helmets. This helmet is sick. And then you have the neon lights is what they say. As you can see, it's kind of like this dark blue, maybe blackish jersey with Music City on the front. And then you got the numbers, the helmets again. I love these helmets. Here's what Cam Ward looks like in it. It's sick. That's sick. I like that with Cam Ward for sure. As you could just see some more of these pant stripes and stuff like that. Is that gold? Is that gold in there on the back? That's sick. These are really nice. I think also this jersey looks really nice with this background. They did a really nice job with Cam Ward. I really like that. I think Cam Ward does a really good job. I just think the Titans are going to be a very fun team, and I think this is a nice little jersey for them. I love it. They say neon lights on us. Definitely, I like this more. I like this better than the Texans for sure. Then we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, which this one is very plain, but it's also like if you can admire like the leopard prints or the jaguar prints on the shorts, that's like the cool one. I love these helmets. The jerseys just seem very similar to their normal jerseys, but the helmets, bro, I love the helmets. If you can see it here, we can go deeper here into the jersey. I mean, you can see there's some cool details. What I love about the helmet is, I don't remember if I have another picture of the helmet. Yeah, here. I love how, here, let me put the picture down a little bit here. If you can see about this helmet, it's like almost a black and white logo of their logo, but then with this color is just really, really nice. I really like that a lot. Really like it a lot. Obviously, there's more pictures here. We look through them. I like the Bold City. Golly, I keep moving this. Bold City. I like it. It's cool. It's cool. I don't necessarily always get it, and obviously I'm not from Jacksonville. I don't maybe know all the jokes there or the meaning of it, but I still think they're pretty nice. Here's T-Law in it. Love it. I mean, I think he looks really good in those. And then the front part of this helmet is really cool too with the goldish tan color there. That's pretty cool as well. I definitely think I would take the Titans one over this one and probably the Texans over it, but it's still cool. I definitely think this is probably the best helmet so far. Yeah, as you can see, there's the teal helmet. Like, it's just sick, guys. It's sick. And then to wrap out the AFC South, we got the Colts, which is this, I believe it's this black one, and we do have a full video that you can see them in like real life. It's not just a picture. So we will go here to see it. I'm not going to play the sound, I don't think, just because I want to be able to talk through it. But as you can see, I mean, they're really sick. They're really, really sick. I like them. I think they pop really nicely. The gray, I kind of wish the gray was black. I really think black and blue, like, do you know the Lions jersey? The Lions jersey that has the black and blue looks really nice. These do really look similar to any Lions jersey, so maybe they had to try to make this nice. But that helmet, look how blue that helmet is. I love that. Love that so much. Do we have any other picture? No, we don't. Okay. Out of these AFC South ones, I'm definitely probably taking this one over. I think I'm going Titans 1, Texans 2, Colts 3, Jaguars 4. That's probably what I'm going to go here. But let me know what your ranking is for the AFC South rivalry jerseys. Now we get to the NFC North, my division, the Vikings division, starting off with the Bears, which, boys, the Bears know how to make jerseys because those I mean, do they look a little Denver Bronco-y? Yes. But, man, they pretty dang nice. They pretty dang nice, bro, if I don't say so myself. I I mean, that is pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet here. I mean, they all look pretty dang nice. Like, no matter what angle, they look nice. I mean, it's so clear. I like the dark blue with the bright orange. It's pretty nice. And then do I have those helmets? Yeah, those helmets, you can see. They look pretty nice. They look pretty nice. I mean, I wouldn't say they're the best helmet, but they're still pretty dang good. Detroit. Okay, I have some concerns about Detroit here. It just looks too similar, in my opinion, to every other Detroit jersey. Okay? I'm taking a lot of other Detroit jerseys over these ones. They're okay. The helmet's okay. It's just nothing crazy. Come on, Detroit. You got to do better. You got to do better. Packers knew what's up. Unfortunately, biggest rival here in the division. But they know what's up. They know what's up here. I mean, look at Jordan Love playing these. I mean, they just look good. They look crisp. Those helmets are awesome. I mean, look at those jerseys, bro. Look at those jerseys. They're so nice. And then, dude, they're tough. And as a Viking fan, that kind of hurts. Kind of hurts a little bit to say that they're tough, but they are. I do think the NFC North has better jerseys than the, what's it called? AFC South. I think they did a lot better. But, yeah, they're pretty good. And then here's some more of those details, just so you can see them fully. I mean, they're really fine. I mean, I love the font, love the striping. Just these details that they put into it, they're just really solid. Really, really solid. Jerseys, in the order so far, I would probably go Packers, Bears, Lions, but I gotta say the Vikings are the best. Maybe that's just because of me, but, I mean, okay, they look a little Baltimore Raven-ish. I know, I get that. But, dude, look at this. Look at this piping. Look at these details of the Nordic, the Vikings. They bring out the Vikings. They bring out the Vikings so much. Here's Jordan Addison in them. Sick. You got that gold helmet. You got the gold face mask. The jersey pops out. You know, look at Jetta's in them. Okay, they're solid. Pretty solid. And then do we have the, oh, yeah. Here we go. You get this Nordic knot pattern. Nordic knot pattern in the uniform mimics the knots found on the Gallahorn at US Bank Stadium. See, look at these details. I love them. You have more color story. Deep purple is the purple dynasty color is inspired from the past to inform the future. Ivory color from the Gallahorn. And then the metallic gold is the history of the Vikings training material. I mean, they just spent a lot of time on this, and I just love it. And then the Vikings helmet, a little similar, but still, it's tough. It's nice. If it would have been like really a gold helmet, that maybe would have been kind of fired as well. But bro, Vikings, y'all know how to do it. I mean, I think the Bears one, of course, pops out the most. I would say maybe the Bears have to be the best just because of that. But the Vikings are a very close second just because of all the details that they put together. I think the Bears and Vikings do the best. Then the Packers. Then probably the Titans, Texans. And then you got a mix of that. I think the Colts and Lions are very similar. I just really don't like the Jaguar ones. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But I do think these rivalry jerseys are pretty sweet. I actually wanted to see the 2025 NFL rivalry jerseys. I don't know what the heck I'm spelling. But I wanted to see, yeah. I want to see the ones from last year because I remember them, but wait, why will they not show it? Weird. Okay. I think these are a step up from last year, though. That's the point. I think that is the point. They are a step up. I love the Vikings ones. I'm super excited to see them play. I believe they're playing the Lions when they wear these on, I believe it's Christmas Eve or something. That's going to be sweet. That's going to be fire. But I do hope you guys did enjoy this, and I hope you enjoy all of this content that we continue to make. Obviously, it's going to start slowing down a little bit because of school. That's just how it works, you guys. You know, the summer we get to do a lot more content, and then we slow it down a little bit. But you know what will never change? Weekly NFL episodes every single Tuesday during the NFL season. On Thursday, we'll talk, we'll do the rotation of the Minnesota sports. We'll talk Twins, maybe, if they ever start winning. We'll talk Wild. We'll talk Timberwolves. A lot of good content to get to. Appreciate you guys for watching so much. And as always, don't forget to keep God first because he's the most important thing in your lives. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Peace.